So it looks to be the case that the DNC is going to attempt to do it again, and what I mean by it is they're attempting to coronate a specific candidate that is going to cater to the establishment and will not check the status quo, and that is Kamala Harris. They are clearly already trying to rig this behind her. It's an attempted coronation. It's an attempted undercutting of basic democracy and the values that exist in democracy. First of all, the fact that superdelegates even exist in the Democratic Party is an absolute, it's a shame, it's an abomination, and it's just really terrible. I mean, what kind of a guys, the name of the fucking party is the Democratic Party, and you're not even living up to that. Having superdelegates, which is comprised of a bunch of different people, but governors, Democratic governors are superdelegates, and I think some people in the House are superdelegates. You're talking about putting a check on the will of the people, but Kamala Harris is already picking, and by the way, Super Tuesday was moved up to favor her. So I'm going to get to vote early, but if Kamala Harris does well in California, that's, an attempt to help her. But also, what you're looking at here is, we just saw Gavin Newsom, who's the governor of California. He has already endorsed Kamala Harris. Ted Lieu, who's a representative in California, he has already endorsed her. And we saw Barbara Lee, which was the worst one, hands down, who ended up, endorsing her. And I believe she now has 5 superdelegates who already support her. And this is horrible, because what this tells you is they're attempting to do exactly what they did back in 2016 to Bernie Sanders. They're trying to set it up right now so that basically, they set up the stage for the establishment candidate. Now, remember what happened last election cycle. The superdelegates were included in virtually every single count, literally everywhere, during the election cycle. So people are discouraged from voting for Bernie Sanders, because when you see that he's down by 600 delegates, well, sheesh, A, maybe I shouldn't even go out and vote, and B, I'll probably just vote for Hillary because, Bernie's going to lose. Or I'm just not going to vote, period, because Bernie's going to lose and I hate Hillary Clinton. So they're trying to do the same thing again. They're trying to circumvent the will of the people. They are attempting to make a situation where they get to determine who is the presidential candidate, who is the presidential nominee of 2020. Guys, she already has 5 superdelegates who endorsed her. The 2020 candidates are not set in. There hasn't been a single debate. Nothing has started yet, okay? And they've already endorsed her. And by the way, she doesn't even have a policy tab on her own fucking website. The main shit on her website is merchandise. There's fucking no policy tab. She doesn't have her own platform on her website because she flip-flops like 24/7. She was saying abolish private healthcare, and then 24 hours later she flipped. How are you going to flip on such an important, vital issue, right? How are you going to flip on something like that, dude? That tells me you're a fraud and you're a joke. But she is the establishment-backed, who's going to be the coronated candidate. And what the media did to Bernie Sanders in 2016 is precisely what they're doing to Tulsi Gabbard right now, where they're boxing her out the same way they did Bernie Sanders. So, buckle up, man. This is going to be a really tough election cycle. But really, we need to, band together to ban these stupid-ass superdelegates, because the Republican Party, they don't even have what's, these deemed superdelegates. I guess they have some, like 3 per state who are bound to voting for whoever their state voted for. So it's not like they just get to fucking choose who to vote for. So you can have, and now they're on the second ballot. So that means if it's a contested primary, which is very, very likely, dude, that's very, very likely to happen. I mean, it's going to be almost surely a plurality. It's surely not going to be a majority with this many candidates in the race. So you're looking at them still being able to swoop in and undermine the will of the people. And I have to say this, I really do. If we're in a situation in 2020, where Bernie Sanders, wins the, popular vote in terms of the delegates that come from the votes of the people, right? He wins a majority of the delegates that come from, winning the states. and the Democrats are to come together by their superdelegates, and instead of, voting for Bernie Sanders, they go contested mode and then vote for anyone else, I don't know if I'd ever be able to continue to be a part of the Democratic Party ever again or vote for them ever again. But buckle up, man. This is going to be a tough fight.